Here we go. We are looking forward to welcoming Cheri Hamilton, the Soul Surfer mom. She has written a book herself called Raising a Soul Surfer. She's going to talk about that today. Welcome to Channel Mom, Cheri Hamilton. We're so glad to have you today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and I do love that song.
Don't you? Doesn't it make you dance around the house?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the whole movie was great. So
yes, it was. It was. You raised your daughter to respect God and to follow after godly values, and suddenly she was thrown into the spotlight because of being attacked by a shark and losing her arm, and a lot of people paid attention to her, and she decided to use it to send a message. How did you kind of reconnoiter as a family and say, how are we going to do this? How are we not going to succumb to all the pressures of fame and fortune? What did you do with your daughter at that point?
Well, for us, being Christians and wanting to share the gospel with the world, and we had that vision for a long time since my husband and I got saved, and we got, wow, God's doing it right now, right here. And we had prophetic words on Kauai that God would use Kauai to reach the world with the gospel, and so we just took it as a grain of salt. Oh, he's doing it. And he's using us in one way or another,
Well, but
and he has. We've been all over the world. It's been amazing.
Shelley, did you want to ask something?
Yeah, would you say that there were any miracles that happened that weren't portrayed in the movie? Some behind the scenes cool stuff.
Plenty of stuff.
So tell us
there was plenty of stuff going on, and that's why I wrote my book, because the hand of God was played out in so many ways and so many tiny details, and I was just amazed at God, and to this day I am just amazed at God.
Can you give a snippet from your book? Of course, we're talking to Cheri Hamilton, the mom who was portrayed in the movie Soul Surfer, but she's written a book in her own right called Raising a Soul Surfer, about her life raising Bethany Hamilton and her two sons along with her husband on Kauai.
Well, everybody wants to know about the shark attack, so you can't get away from that, even though nobody wants to talk about it in our family. But so I wrote a whole chapter on the shark attack and how we caught the shark, and our neighbor caught it, and my son actually married the guy's grandniece, and
really?
She's pregnant now.
Congratulations!
I know, so we're excited about that, but that's just a minor detail. Anyways, that changes your life.
Yeah.
But and there were so many things that happened during filming, such as our dog was going to be in it, Ginger, which she had died, and then we got a new Shar-Pei from the breeder, same genetics, and we shipped her to Oahu. We were over there for a couple months for filming, and I kept calling them. I go, well, when are you going to use the dog? We got to get her trained for her specific parts and what she needs to do. And they're going, yeah, well, we'll let you know. And then weeks go by, and then finally one day they called and they go, okay, we're going to use her tomorrow. I go, oh, no, I'm not even ready. What am I going to do? So
yeah.
I drive a block down to Sunset Beach where you can watch the sunset, and I was watching the sunset, and my friend's daughter jogs by with her dog, and I go, hi, Sierra, how are you? And what are you doing over here, And I didn't even know she was there. And she goes, oh, I'm training dogs. And I go, what? I need you tomorrow for the movie. We're going to hire you and pay you, and stuff like that. It was just, and she lived a block away, so I brought the dog over that night. She started training her, brought her to the set. The director was amazed at her. She did everything possible correctly. It was amazing.
So literally, you're sitting there on the beach, yeah, just not knowing what to do, and God just provided it, just out of thin air. He provided it
constantly, every day. It was amazing.
That's awesome. And I want to make sure we don't skip over the big news. Now, a lot of people who follow you closely know what's going on.
Right.
But please tell us the big news about Bethany that you're preparing for right now.
You know what? As a mother, you are very concerned about who your daughter's going to marry. Yeah. And especially when you've been that close. I mean, we were closer than a lot of families just because of the competition and her traveling the world and taking her to competitions, and she couldn't rent a car, so one of us would always go with her, if not both of us. And so you're close, and you go, how are we going to find a guy to replace us, me and Tom, as a team? I mean, it just seemed like such an impossibility, and so I committed for a year. Every day I'd swim out to the buoy at the beach here. There's a swim buoy that everybody trains at.
Yeah.
I swam out every day for a year, laid hands on the buoy, and prayed for a husband for her.
Look at you, Mom. I mean, let me just take a break right there and say, I can tell just from the movie and the interviews I've seen with your daughter, and this show is all about moms and honoring moms because we don't do that nearly enough in the media. Thank you. For seriously, thank you for raising a sweet, good daughter. Your sons are obviously well raised too by you and your husband, but obviously you're a serious mom. If you pray for her every day by swimming out to a buoy, I mean, that's awesome. And God answered your prayer. Tell everybody quickly about the plans of Bethany getting married.
Well, this guy that God brought to the scene overnight was amazing. I mean, he replaces me and Tom in every detail. It's like I'm just boggled because
to the break.
he's perfect for her and so amazing. And they're very much in love, and they're getting married. I only got frustrated with him because the first day I saw him, I go, "Oh, he's the one. he's the answer to the prayer." And I go, "What's he waiting for? Why doesn't he ask her to get married?" You know, and he waits like 8 months. You know. But anyways, we got a big wedding coming up in a few weeks here, so I'm very, very excited and very grateful to God.